Alrighty, good day. This is Taco Salad 223 and today we're going to continue on with our beginner's guide journey, and today is going to be my recommendation for your first few missions. My strongly recommended example for first mission or two in the game is going to be cargo delivery missions. They're nice and easy. You pick up a box somewhere, you drop off a box somewhere. Now, before we get too far into the video, I would like to say, if you're thinking about buying this game and getting into it, I highly recommend you use my creator code. I think that's what it's called anyways, so that you get that extra 5,000 alpha UEC. Currently, I haven't said to buy anything, and at this point, you don't need to go buy anything because you still have your starter armor that you started with in the game. Nice and easy. So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go do ourselves a delivery mission. So first thing, we got to get our ship pulled out so that we can start thinking about doing that. Make your way to the fleet manager terminal, and we're going to pull out our Mustang Alpha just like before.
Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following
Tells me to go to Hangar 4, so we're going to exit out. Now, you're going to forget, so there's always a spot on the screen. You can look for it. There's Hangar 4. So we can go ahead and click on one of these elevators. And Hangar 4. And while our lovely elevator ride's going on, if you've not watched the previous videos, I explain a whole lot of things in detail. Like the first video was really long, but it has everything you need to be able to navigate through here pretty easily, so I would recommend watching that. We've made it into the hangar now. Here's our beautiful Mustang Alpha. Mine is slightly upgraded. I have the extra weapons on the wings installed, and we're going to do a tutorial on how to do upgrading your ship and everything. We just haven't got that far yet because we're just doing delivery runs at this point. So come up here, tap F. And here we are, ship's turned off. Tap R to turn it on, just like before. And then you need to call tower so you can get them to open that hangar door. I have a hotkey. Use your preferred method for contacting them.
You are clear to launch.
We got the space bar to go up. W to go forward. It's got to wait long enough for these doors to open up. And they should be opened up enough. Go ahead, fly right on out of this hangar. Now today I told you guys we're going to go do a delivery mission, and the main reason that I recommend that you start with this is you want to get comfortable with your ship controls before you run in and start trying to do service beacons, for example, or bounties, or whatever mission type that would involve ship combat. You kind of want to be comfortable with flying before you go and do one of those. So, to find ourselves a nice delivery mission, we're going to hit our F1 button, go to our contracts manager, and we're looking for this delivery tab. Now this mission, it's telling us that they want to see if we got what it takes to deliver some stuff. So once you complete this first one in an area, so for example we're in area 18 right now around R-Corp, they have their own requirements and everything else to do that, and once you start doing these you can unlock higher tier ones, and eventually they can make some pretty good money compared to this 3,000 alpha UEC right here. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to accept that offer. It'll take us to the accepted tab. We'll make sure it actually took. Sometimes it doesn't. You'll just be looking at a blank screen. And now, when we click our little exit button up here, we'll notice that we have a target location right there. And we'll spool up our quantum drive. And we should get a marker for it here soon. But sometimes you won't. And this is a perfect example. You'll notice that we got that marker right there set, but that's not where we want to go. We want to be able to go to that mission. So if we open up our F2 menu, which is our map, we can see that it has OM6 stuck currently as our current location. So we'll hit our clear route button, bounce back out of that. Now when I turn on my quantum drive, we can actually see and quantum to where we want to go.
Quantum travel engaged. Landing gear retracted.
And we have arrived at Lyria. We can see that our location is somewhere down there. We'll let our quantum drive spool back up, and apparently it is at Shubin Mining Facility SAL 5. Now the nice thing about things on planets is when you quantum to them, as long as it is on the ground, it will quantum you around the planet to where you need to be. Now if it's floating in space on the other side of the planet, you'll have to use some OM markers to get there. And OM markers, I actually misspoke in the first video. It's orbital marker. It's literally just a location for you to quantum to. There is no satellite there. And you actually just seen another dude quantuming away across the screen. That was pretty cool. So, we'll point down at this. We'll let our calibration get completed. And now, we'll get over there. And that's quantum complete. We'll toggle off our quantum drive. We can see we're 22 kilometers out. And just like at a space station, you generally don't want to fly straight to it. You want to fly a little bit high. And we're going to turn our throttle limiter all the way up. Especially on these moons, the longer you can stay above the atmosphere, the faster you can fly. You can close that gap really quickly. And I'll stop thrusting about now. And we might even blow past it, but it'll be okay. Gotta be careful. Use my speed brake with X and shift. Help slow me down, and I can even spin around here, so my big thrusters are in the back. We did blow past it a little bit, but it'll be okay. I'm gonna turn my speed limiter down so I can come up here and land. Don't forget about your landing gear, you'll feel silly. And when we come up here, we can see a bunch of different buildings. I'm going to click L for light so we can see what we're looking at. And then I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit. So, if you notice, this building right here has an orange spike on it. And that is always going to be your trade building. And if it is a friendly landing zone like this one, there will be a trade building. You can go and buy stuff to sell. This is going back to, it'll be a dedicated tutorial one day. And then the blue spike is a spot that you can pull out ground vehicles on these little pads. It's a nice little feature, and this is where you would pull out ground vehicles. Now it says our package is in there. We can land on these pads. We don't have to call anyone here to land. But, because this is a nice small ship, I think if we go into third person, I could probably land right out front. I'm going to try and do that. We're going to see how it goes. And we've landed. It looks like we're even flat. That's awesome. Now, on planets, you want to click I to shut off your engines.
Engine systems
And we can see our engines are off right there, because if you don't, your ship will literally blow away and it'll be funny. Now we can get out of our ship. This is the point where you'll figure out if you forgot your helmet, because it is a moon, there is no breathable air. Run around back here, we'll come grab up our package. All these ground stations have airlocks, so you'll open the door. This is where you toggle the airlock at. Give it a second. And now we're in the building. Now here's the best part about these landing zones. There's going to be lootable crates in here, which is another reason why I highly recommend coming in here. Because we might not have to buy anything if we visit here first. We can see our package right there. But let's loot up first, right? So if we come over here, this red box, we can see we can actually loot it. So if we crouch, get nice and close, click loot. And it's broke, of course. Let's click loot again. And we can see there's a different undersuit here, and there's a really nice heavy armor helmet. We can also see the local inventory is over here. So what we can do, drag these over to the local inventory, and we'll come back to those later. This white box right here, generally it's a food box. So if we click on that dude, we can see there's some candy bars, there's some sketchy things I would need, there's free multi-tools, we're going to take them, put them in our local, put the food in our local. This is actually a medical tool for the multi-tool, medical attachment for the multi-tool, sorry. Move those over, free water, candy bar. These drinks right here are awesome because they give you food and water. You can see it says health and hydration. There's some flares. Flares can be nice. More good water. More flares. And maybe, you know, you like the flashy jackets, so you can steal that flashy jacket too. We can jump on out of that box, and we're going to keep looking for lootable boxes. Pop open this door. You can see there's another lootable red box here. And sometimes the inventory doesn't want to load, but we'll give it a sec. If the inventory doesn't load, you can try exiting out, doing it again. And it loaded up just fine. And here we can see we got 5 different helmets. This one is actually a special cold weather helmet. We can see the temp rating is very low on that one, and that could be great to have. Now you could get all this stuff for the purpose of selling it, and it sells okay. But generally, I just make a stockpile of armor and extra stuff wherever I'm going to be living primarily. And then you always have armor and stuff when you spawn. These landing zones are great ways to get everything. Some of them will even have weapons, medical tools. That's back where we came. We'll do this one. So there is a lot of good stuff around. Alright. Well, we've checked all of the rooms. We've grabbed up everything we could, so now we're going to go ahead, we're going to grab our box, we hold F, and we just click grab. Now initially, you're going to be walking very slowly with these boxes. You'll be walking like this. But just like before, if you scroll wheel, you can move quicker. We'll get on through here, cycle the airlock. And now we want to load this thing into our ship. Hold F, get that door open. I think I missed. Oh good, it's not opening. Interesting. Not had that one before. It is possible that the server's about to crash. So we'll set this on the floor somewhere. And that, my friends, is going to be a 30K. The server has just crashed on us. So we will get back to this point so that I can talk through it once the server finally finishes itself out. and through the power of editing, we are back. So this time when I jumped back in, it took me to Walla instead of Yella. Those are the two moons around ArcCorp. And I got a different box, and that means that I have different stuff in my local inventory. I ran through all the buildings in the surrounding area and grabbed up everything that I thought I wanted. And then we're gonna get all that stuff loaded up into our ship. So hold F and click. That'll come down. Get this door open. Then what we can do is we can crouch. We can look at this box right here. We can go place. And then we can tell it that we want to put it right there. Good enough. Now while we're standing in this thing, we can actually access our vehicle inventory. So when we click I, you'll notice we have vehicle over here. And I currently have armor filtered, so it's only showing us our armor. Move that stuff over. But when I unfilter, you'll notice I got a bunch of food and drink and flares, tractor beams, multi-tools. I got a lot of stuff. And I want to take all this with me. And unfortunately, because there's no move all button, I got to move each one of these over manually. So we'll speed this up and come back once we're done. Alright, and that's everything moved. Fun fact, if you were paying attention to the speed up, I accidentally dragged my armor off. So I was standing in the box, not doing so great. And you'll notice I lost some health because that was not a great idea. And what I can do, I can open this up. It's acting like I got a filter on. There we go. I can take one of these med guns and put it on my hip. And assuming that it came with a medical cartridge, I can click the 4 button and we can see it's got ammo. And then if I click B, it'll point at myself and I can left mouse click to heal up. And we'll click 4 again. Apparently not 4. We're going to hold R to put that away. Now that we got our box and we've got up everything we want to take home, we can close this box up and move on to the next part of the mission where we deliver it.
Engine systems enabled.
And we're just taking off here. We'll pick up our landing gear. And let's see where we're going to drop this dude off. Okay, so it's that way. Now, like we've discussed previously, obviously I can't quantum through the planet, so we're just going to turn on our quantum drive. And my preferred method is just find some places where I can quantum to. Like that OM marker would be wonderful. Now, the more efficient way when it works would be to open up your map. Click that dude so it gets us nice and close where we're at. And then we want to see where we're dropping this off at. Apparently, it says drop off right there on Walla. Map is nice and finicky. We'll double click on it, that'll help. Click on this area we want to go to. Set, and it says we can go straight there. So, point nice and straight down. It's set. We can point at it and go straight to it. I didn't realize it was on this planet. And you'll notice that other spot that's showing us a place to go. That's actually the box in the back of the ship. Kind of annoying. So here we go. And we've arrived, and I'm actually going to kick on my cruise control at kind of a slow speed so I can talk about this icon in the top right of my screen. So that little satellite looking dude means that the satellite that communicates with law enforcement is actually indeed up. Now players can go shut those things off, and that means that if you commit a crime, you won't get caught. So sometimes players that want to go do some stuff they shouldn't will go turn them things off, and then we can go re-enable them if we would like, or you can go help them do whatever they're doing. It's kind of a neat feature, and you can always tell. And there's only a couple places on the map currently that don't have that satellite coverage. One of them is right outside around Grimhex, which is where all of the pirates like to hang out because it's the only friendly space station to pirates. And let's see where we're at here. We're nice and close. So I'm going to dip back down, and you'll notice here in a minute another icon pop up. And there is the armistice zone icon. What that means is I shouldn't be able to fire my weapons. And as you see when I try, it says they're locked. Now that's definitely not a perfect system, and occasionally it doesn't work. But you're not supposed to be able to fire in an armistice zone. And that's with your character or your ship, either which way. So we'll land right here. Shut off our engines, just like before, hop out. Get in here and grab our box. We'll go get this dude delivered. So when you go to drop off these boxes, there's going to be a nice little red thing like this, and what you do, come up, hold F, click drop off, you give it a second, then you want to click place inside the box, and it'll drop it off, and if we watch the HUD here in a minute, we'll get paid. There we go, contract complete. Like I said, I recommend doing these because it'll get you comfortable with flying your ship, quantuming around the universe, just working through things, using the contracts manager, dealing with the inventory, all that good stuff. And we're going to take full advantage of being here and go through these boxes and grab up anything we need. You can never have too many medical guns or multi-tool. Water's okay. These drinks are the best to have because they give food and water, like I said before, and that's all I really care about in that box. We can see they got one stuffed up under here, and I will speed through these again. We'll come back once we're done. And bouncing back, we've looted all the buildings, and you'll notice, if you had a keen eye, there was an ECN alert that popped up on the screen. It has its own tab, and if we click ECN alert, it says network intrusion, and then someone has hacked one of those comm arrays, which is that satellite in the top right corner, somewhere in the area, and they want us to go deal with it. It's a nice little mission loop. Probably won't do them very often, but it is an option if you want to get some PvP going. So I've looted these buildings right here. We're going to go ahead, we're going to get up inside of our ship again. And we want to move all of this lovely stuff we just picked up into here. I'm going to click ammo so I have a clear screen. And we're just going to start dumping all that into our vehicle inventory from our local. Now, your local inventory is forever. So, well, forever between wipes anyways. So generally what we do when we're running around to these places is we'll loot them up, dump it in local, and then if we're here, next time we're here, running around doing missions, we have stuff here already. Or we can use that lovely app that I shown you guys in the first video to find something that we're looking for. And that is everything out of the local inventory here. Everything's now loaded in the ship. So we'll close up this box. So when we open up our inventory manager, go to contracts, we'll notice there's a bunch of different delivery options now. And these ones are just a little bit different. They pay more. And this one, for example, you're going to collect multiple packages off of Lyria, and then you're going to deliver them in 3 different places. One of them will be on Lyria, 2 of them will be on Walla. So when you're trying to do a bunch of these, because you can fit a good number of boxes in that container on the back of this ship, if you can, you could take multiple, especially out here because there's only 2 planets you'd have to go to. And I would avoid that one because it involves going to ARCorp. But I'd take those first 3, and yeah, I would just take those first 3 because flying onto ARCorp, the atmosphere is thicker, so it takes longer to get there. But you could take all 3 of those at once, go pick up all of those boxes, drop them off, and that'd be 24,000 that you would get. And you'll just continually get more, and as you do it, eventually you will work up your, I forget the right word for it. You'll unlock more with Kovacs, I believe is who we were just working for. Some of these will show you you'll get more money for doing stuff. They do rank up, it is nice. Alright, well, I'm gonna choose to fly back to the station and drop off all the lovely stuff that we just collected, dragging and dropping one by one. And that'll be the end of this tutorial. Thanks for watching. Definitely don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have anything to put in the comment section, I'd love to hear from you guys.